site. Oh, yeah. All right, kids. I'm back. I'm back. I'm black. It's Black History Month. It's General Hospital season 8 premiere. I am here with you to talk about General Hospital in the midst of a huge storm that's coming to Los Angeles. Any minute now, apparently. So they're getting ready. It's ugly outside. Everything. They're claiming it's gonna be crazy. So I'm waiting for it. I am waiting for it, waiting for it. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to set up my stuff and excuse me, things while we type. Let you guys get a chance to come in, and I'm assuming Frank will be coming in shortly at some point. Um, season 8. There you go. I had to type that in there. This is our new season. We're doing the show a long time. A long time. Oh shit, I put I have the wrong name in here. We change this. Oh, now it's taking for a second. So you guys can pile in here. The Wide Orange Spotlight and the Bold Buell Spotlights are out. Audio and video versions both are out. Where you get your audio, find them there. Here, JLJ Media Video. It's me and Amanda. So there's no no Tammy Govea. She's not feeling well, so she couldn't make it. But I'm sure she'll be back in 2 weeks when we come back in 2 weeks. But both episodes are out. We had a good time talking about it all, and I have total power and stuff still, so I'm very happy. After this, if you want to go to Edition Days and watch them, it'll be amazing. And they will give you all Days of Our Lives stuff. But next week is their 9-year anniversary, so they have a Zoom they're doing on Saturday, and then they're also on Sunday having that 9th anniversary show, which I will probably be on it. So check me out over there when that happens too. Okay, we get back to the channel. I set all that stuff up. I have to do all the stuff myself. You all 8 years later. Here we go. All right. I love you guys, Janet and Coach. Andrew, I saw you at 10-4-GH. Bridget Rodelli, Be for Ashes. So yeah, hopefully I can't wait. I'm and Sandra, hi you guys. Hopefully you guys will come on. We're waiting for the storm to come. It's really cold. It's very windy. It's wet. But it's so far the storm hasn't happened yet. We had a hailstorm 2 nights ago, which was a trip. But that was crazy. But it's cold. I mean, I'm in the house. The heater on. I'm in the house, ready for you guys. So it is going to be a trip. So if my power goes out or anything during the show, just know that it's acts of God. I love it. And there's planes flying over me because they're taking off this way, so I can hear. You guys can't hear them. I can hear them. So I pause for a second because they're so loud over my house. I have to stop because I can't compete with them. You guys, again, you don't hear them. I'll hear them, and then they pass. They're taking at LAX when it rains. They take off the opposite direction. Usually, they take off into the ocean, and then do anything. But now they're taking off over my house. The only times I don't like living here just at that time, just that when that happens. Excuse me, I had belch. But we are here. Hi, George Blackman. Hi, you guys. We're here. Excuse moi. Yes, we had lots to talk about, and it's been 2 months. We were on the other week. Thank you for that. Thank you for joining us in a nighttime edition. That was wonderful. Also, thanks to everybody who showed me kindness. Last couple of weeks, I lost my grandmother and my cousin the same day, and we buried my grandmother and cousin the same day. So thanks for just our continued support of me, my family, the Lotts and everything. We've had a really interesting year. We'll say that. But it's now February. It's Black History Month. Look up Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Get some answers there. And this is, I guess it's Tony Moore calling me at the same time. Tony Moore, you are on the air. Say hi to the folks. He said hi to folks. So I'm doing General Hospital right now. Oh, I really check to see if
if you were on live.
I am.
Like, oh, he's not on live yet. Oh, but you are on live.
Yeah.
You're live right now.
Live right now. So you said hi to the folks just now.
Like, you don't click the button. I didn't say hi to the
You did. You just said hi to them because I'm live. And I just promoted your events. I just promoted next week. I literally just did that.
Oh, love it. Okay, well then let me let you go since you are on live.
Everybody's laughing. Yes, I'm on live. My co-host isn't here yet. I don't know where he is, but I'm here. So
you just sitting on live by yourself, like you don't click the button and like you live and you just
you live. I'm live. Yes, I'm live. Yes, I'm live. Waiting for the storm to come. Waiting for the storm to come.
Oh, it's coming, honey.
It's coming. I'll do my church announcements. That's all I was doing when you called. I was just doing my church announcements. But I just announced your events next weekend.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, well then you keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna be over here.
Thank you. I say bye to Tony Moore. Edition Day is at 3:00 today. Thank you, folks. Bye, Tony.
Yeah. Okay,
bye. We call each other all the time. Thank you, Coach Sandra. Thank you, and all your chats help too. They all help. Everything helps. Everything all goes to JLJ Media, so we all take it. Hello to everyone people watching. But thank you for taking the time with us the last couple of months. I had a lot of stuff going on. I couldn't be here, but we are here. I'm here, and hopefully Frank will come in. But if he doesn't, we'll talk. This is what we do. I just know say hi, everybody. This is what we do. So it's Sunday. My hair is out, the fro. I'm doing it on purpose. Natural hair is good. Natural hair is fine. Nothing wrong with natural hair. That's what we're saying today. So we're doing that also. All right. Hi, Crystal. Hi, everybody. So you guys are coming in. All righty, kids. What I was going to say is, and it's Crystal, it's a live chat. Hello, everybody. I guess where should we start? Let's start. We're going to start with the Nicholas, Trina, all that. We got to start with all that, and Esme and all that, because that's the biggest thing. Oh, before we start there, some folks asked me in the last show. I want to thank you guys. My latest video on Daytime Today about the casting of Jagger is almost at 3,000 views in just a day and a half. You guys are commenting. Oh, you are commenting. So thank you. I know. I'm going to read the comment. I'm going to go through the I want to go through all the comments later today. I'm very excited to do that. And I'm like, yes. That's going to be very exciting. Now here's the deal. Apparently, Antonio Sabato Jr. has commented and has a video out. And I haven't seen the whole thing. So I'm going to watch it. I'll probably comment again. Who knows? I have my own history with Antonio Sabato Jr. So I might do a video with that. I might. So stay tuned. You know me, stay tuned. With that. Also, I'm in talks with a preliminary. I'm getting connected to the new PR at General Hospital. So hopefully that will help me get back in their good graces again and get just regular videos, regular guests where I don't have to always do it myself. So keep your fingers crossed. So far, the new person there was very friendly to me and is open to discussion. So I'm working for you guys. I'm trying. I'm doing what I can. I am working for you guys, doing what I can. So that's something else too. I'm going to check that out there. And also, I saw some comments by Doug Davidson and Inga Rodbach. Everybody's commenting, but we'll get to Jagger in a second. We'll get to all that in a second. Let's go back to the end of this chapter of Sprina, Spencer. Okay, so my thumbnail is little Nicholas Bechtel. When Laura's looking at a child picture of Nicholas, which would be Nicholas Bechtel, I got really teary-eyed on that one. Here's the deal, kids. Here's the deal. Nicholas Chavez is now working on his other show. Do this thing. I actually liked it went by fast, but I knew they had to wrap it up, and I actually was fine with it. The way they did it left it open. We know she's not dead, right? Everybody knows she's not dead. You know that. I mean, Esme, they're not dead. They're just their bodies are out there, so they'll come back to life later. I love that he died a hero on some level. So it's good he saved Trina, so that was good. But even though we know he's not really dead, God bless America, Jeannie Francis. I think everybody can just, I mean, no matter how you fall on the coupling, how you fall on the storyline, how you fall on Laura's character, the chick can act. And nobody does reacting to death better than Jeannie Francis. Jeannie Francis, cheese and crackers. I was sobbing like a baby, sobbing like a baby. The way it's so realistic. Because when someone is dying or dies or whatever, you don't always cry continuously. You cry, then you get then you kind of collect yourself, try to hold things together, try to get information. Then you may burst out again. Then you go, you may burst out again. Who you're talking to? Her talk with Dante, I really enjoyed. Her and Curtis were okay. Yeah, Sherry. That was the other Sky Spencer. But as a kid, when he played, it was a kid. It was kind of cool. But it was her talk with Dante. It was when she got home to Kevin. It's when she first embraced Sonny and then called him out. Sonny and Laura have a long history. A long history. We're talking back to Luke Day, talking back to the mob stuff. Their friendship is rooted in honesty. And so she called out. But I'll tell you something, Jeff Korber, as Frank would say, that guy never knows when to take a cue. Of course he would show up and make it all about him, but saying he's making it about them and his family, but it's all about him. It is. And he's such a good actor too. And when he starts reciting scripture and Laura goes off on him to stop, like you need to leave, like it was like his face was just like, I mean, he plays the wounded puppy so well. And Laura was just like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. And when she says, first Nicholas, then Ace, now Spencer, my family's disappearing. And I'm thinking she's also probably thinking about Lulu and Lucky. It's like it's too much. When she said that, I felt that. I felt that. And I also love when she acknowledged Esme was your niece. So you feel something too. We totally get it. Oh, well, people are Coach Chandra, they were posting those scenes. I remember them, but they were posting those scenes of Laura going off on, oh my God, I mean, it's, woo! Laura, the thing about Jeannie Francis, she puts her whole body into it. Her expressions, her body. She embodies what's going on. And that's what's so, it's just so good. I mean, you feel her anguish, you feel the weight, like literally the weight. I mean, Jeannie Francis she does. She loves her kids and grandkids. And I forgive Laura. See, I say my thing was, and Laura now beating herself up and stuff. I say this over and over again. I'm a grandfather. I'm also a father. I may not even like some just for purposes. You don't always like your daughters or sons' other halves, and things, but you do what you have to. If you're a good parent or grandparent, you pick and choose what you need to do if it's about the grandkids. And sometimes, and Laura said, I mean, she's saying, I thought that she was doing better. Did I know she got her memory back? And that's people can be duped. They can. And I think people are just like, I just agree with a lot of people. There was no propping of Esme being a good person. There was no propping of this stuff. Like, it was storyline. Just the pacing was horrible. The pacing up. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. David. Everybody, thank David, please. That's very generous. Thank you very much. Here comes Frank Moran. Perfect timing. This is perfect timing. Well, thank you, David. See, you did that, and now Frank comes on. That's perfect. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for him to come in. Then we'll go. Then we'll continue.
Oh, oh, what a day. What a day.
You're all fuzzy.
Oh, let's see if I do this. Whoop.
There must be. There you go. Must be. Now we can see that handsome face.
Oh,
There we
wow,
go.
look at that. Oh, my word. Oh, what kept us apart? I'm so sorry. That was all me.
No, so I said he'll come in. I waited till 1:20, but I had to come on. I was going to come on. So the storm is coming, Frank. The storm's coming to LA. Get ready.
Yeah, I kept on hearing like the Arc Storm. Look out. It's gonna wash us away, James.
That's fine with me. I'm ready. But no, it's not gonna. Hey, I'm sure Eagle will be fine over here. I'm not sure that's gonna happen over here. Everybody, Frank's here. Frank's here. I only did. Tony called in, so we talked to Tony for a little bit. I did church announcements. That's all I did. And I just started talking about the Nicholas the Esme Spencer Trina story. That's what I started talking about. So that's where we're at right now.
Yes, nice.
And I was just praising Jeannie Francis' performance.
She was great, but I was also a little underwhelmed. Not by her performance.
Okay.
Her performance was great. But as you've already talked about it, my just note in general is it. I mean, I guess like father like daughter, where this just had the shades of a prolonged and then rushed ending, much like Ryan Chamberlain's arc did at the end, to now like with Esme's arc, and it's a bummer, and I guess it just speaks to how this and maybe that'll change with the new writing team, but just like the way that the writing team was handling pacing and how they would then suddenly hit the pedal to the metal on stories and then just kind of do like a little limp, weak ending to it.
Well, I did say that. I go pacing, bad. I did say it was a quickie. He's gone. We gotta get him out of here. But I didn't mind the adventure. It was quick, but I didn't mind the adventure. It's kind of like she attacks. You try. I mean, good. It was like fast. It was kind of like I guess I needed that because I just feel like cheese and crackers. It's just like the storyline's gone on forever. I was kind of happy with my fast at the end on some level. I wish it was more theatrical, possibly, but I'm kind of glad it was my fast. This shit over with.
Do you feel like it could have been better, much like Ryan's storyline too, if they would have gotten stuff started sooner with it?
Oh yeah, well, of course. I mean, like I said, pacing.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing I kept saying to them on here and here in the chat, I kept saying, people was blaming Laura's blaming herself now, right? So, but I was trying to tell them it was the pacing of the writing of the show, like that it went on for so long. Like it just went on for so long. It's not necessarily. I see what you guys are saying sometimes, but I think part of it was just it just went on for so long.
Yeah.
The thing went on too long. Everything went on. The pacing was horrible on all of it. It went on too long. So I guess, but I assume they're going to just because it went on too long. They had an end date. They had a quick date. That's why Spencer's out.
I mean, overall, how do you feel about the run of Esme?
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Lots of potential. Again, pacing. Lots of potential. And I'm not just getting into that. So it's funny Frank says that. That's what we're just getting into right now. Again, Esme was supposed to be a villain. She comes from two villains. Two crazy folks. The pacing screwed that up. I'm shocked to let her go too. I didn't know they were gonna let her go. But that means she can come back. Folks, she can come back. They're not dead. Spencer's not dead. They're not dead. They're not dead. They'll come back. They'll wash up on shore. They keep giving her water endings. I mean, she'll come back. Esme could have been a really great villain. But the pacing, the stopping and starting, even with the amnesia part, that was good at first. But because they had to wrap up Nicholas Chavez's storyline, they ran out of time. They couldn't fully explore her trying to reconcile both sides or anything. They just literally said, "Okay, we gotta go."
Yeah. I mean, I would have, but I mean, I guess that goes into the other one. We've already had, this is our third round of Amnesia, where then it's like they're reconciling both sides of themselves. I mean, we've seen it with Sonny, we've seen it with Ned, and then we see it with Esme. And it was, definitely I felt like in terms of a story idea, like diminishing returns by the time you see it like third go around. I mean, to have at one point to have two characters on the canvas currently that were wrestling with that was just like, oy, oy, oy.
Wait,
What are
wait,
we
wait,
doing?
wait. But here I'll counterpoint that, Frank Moran.
Do tell.
On Why I will on Why to Live. Later seasons, at one point, Vicky was back to being Nikki and her alters, and then her daughter just became Tess and Bess. And that was at the same time. It's a little crazy, Frank, a little crazy, but it worked. And you guys who watch Live know it worked. It worked. It told because they told several storylines from several sides, mother daughter. It was like it was written a lot better, and the pacing was a lot better. So for me, that actually could have worked also if they had better writing and better pacing. It was just like Ned's back. They really didn't reconcile anything. Ned's back.
Yeah.
Back to scheming, and that's it. And Wes. I'm sorry, Jason. I forgot one of the characters. And Wes. It was just Tess, Bess, and Wes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Forgot. That's what I forgot. That's funny. But the whole point was, I think I thought it would be funny if Ned and Esme kind of had scenes together as their good selves. I thought we kind of, I mean, almost kind of, you could do some winks, some fun stuff with it. But they didn't. They didn't do any of that stuff, of course. Um, and with Esme again, it was such a short because we knew Nicholas Chavez was leaving soon. He was leaving soon. We knew it was coming up. And the pacing was so bad. This whole point, there's no way we were going to get any kind of story of that. It had to. I think it had to go this fast. Just unfortunately.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. I mean, do you want to see Esme back again? I mean, I mean, I assume she falls outside of the Peter August for you, the name and
Oh yeah, no,
everything.
she don't bother. She don't bother me. She never bothered me.
Yeah.
No. Esme doesn't bother me. I know a lot of folks hate her and all that stuff, but you're supposed to hate her. That's the kind of point. But now that she's tied, they've tied her to everybody. So she's tied to Ryan. She's tied to Laura and that family. She's still tied to Trina and Josh for what she did to them. So I think if she came back and they wrote her better, and they wrote her getting some comeuppance, I think that could help the process. That was the thing. I know Crystal. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I don't think they did the best they could. Good writing is good writing. You can write really well. I think it was production, it was pacing. That's all chosen. That's all chosen. That starts with the writing. It's all chosen. It's chosen from the producers going, I want this storyline, and then next week I want these stories. They have to break it down every week. They plan out 5 weeks in advance. So you can't. So if you do a Trina storyline for 1 week, and then like we said, it'd be like 2 months to go by, and oh, they have a storyline. That's a choice by production that goes to the writers, that goes to the breakdown. I mean, there's a whole hierarchy. So I don't think they did their best. To tell you the truth, I don't agree with that whatsoever. I don't.
Yeah. It's yeah, I mean it is stuff like that that only gives me a little slight pause about, how much liberty and freedom the new writing team will have.
Me
Uh
too.
so I mean we could be facing the same thing, but maybe with better writing. That even though the paces and the storylines can be clunky like this, but at least if you're getting better writing, it would still be an improvement.
I agree. And I think everybody understands. I think everybody in this chat, everybody watching, 54 people, 54, 58 people, excuse me, 58 people watching. I love it. I know it's all for Frank. I totally know it's all.
No, clearly not, James. I was not here.
No, but it went up once you got here. It went up. Bro, like, not me, not me, not me, not me, not me.
Oh, he's here now.
He's here.
This matters.
Oh, no, man. Frank released something. Release something now. No, but the thing is, I'm with Frank on that. I'll take good writers. I will take. Yes, I'm referencing the writers that are on their way out. Yes, that's what I'm referencing. The writers on the way out, but also because there's head writers, then there's storyline writers, and there's breakdown writers, and script writers. So it goes all the way down, and people have their roles. So the people down there, they're just being told what to write. So that's one thing. But the big people on top, you can have good writing. We all know when something's good writing because General Hospital, every once in a while we get like a week of good writing.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, where did I mean, like, oh, hi, Toast, we love you too. Meaning, even the simplest stuff like remembering that Dante and Spencer, we said this last time, are cousins. And Spencer always said Uncle Sonny. He would never say your old man.
Oh.
Not even a jokester. I mean, but then the good writing comes in where they said, when she said Spence to him, that was a thing she called him. And it's like, that's good writing. You remembered she always called him Spence. She did all the time. I hate Spence, but she always called him Spence. That's good writing because you're remembering, and that makes them go, oh. And also, I like the fact this writing was so, but the parts that were good was that once they realized she was a danger, nobody was dumb.
Yeah.
It went pretty. What do you think? What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, and there wasn't too many. I mean, they throw up the little teases like, "Oh, my phone's out of battery, so I got to charge that," or, "Oh, I guess we're not getting great reception here." But you at least see, the attempts being made about like, all right, people are acting smart and they're trying to do this. So, like that first time when they got the battery was dead, but they were still able to charge it and get a call in. I was like, oh, all right, this is so much better than it made me think like. Yeah, like, oh, we were unable to get a hold of the kids in Paris. Oh no. So no, it was all right. But
it was smarter. It was smarter.
yes.
Wasn't just dumb. And Crystal, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it out loud to everybody watching the show. The writing hasn't been good for several years. So it's not just that you're on their way out now. I mean, it's the right. You can go back and watch our episodes. We have complained about so much over the years that it's not. It's been the last couple of years. I feel like it's been the last couple of years that General Hospital's been, like I said, moments. It's fine. A storyline here and there, a character here and there. It's fine. But overall, it's been. I think it's a shell of its former self. I don't know, Frank, what do you think?
I agree, and there are moments where you get these weird things like, is this thing? But it's not, and it's just like some kind of weird red herring. For example, at Spencer and Trina's hotel room, the bellhop just pops in again.
Yeah.
And it's played like he's like, wait, maybe he's in on it somehow. Did Esme get to him, or is there something Cassadine related that we don't even know about that's tied into? But nope, it just was this weird moment where just the guy walked in and left. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, it didn't play well enough to be like a little funny comedic beat within the story to make you think like, oh, no, that's just a funny kind of just moment. That's great.
Yeah.
So you're just left to go like, well, why was that in there? I don't understand.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, like I said, we're down for funny little winks and things here and there. I mean, I'm down for that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. Right. It has to make some kind of sense. And like here's the thing. We love GH also. We see so much potential also. That's why we do these shows. We see potential too. That's the whole thing. We see potential. And there's a lot of great actors on this show. We say it all the time. They can act. But they're right. You bring someone on like Blair. Yes, Jason knows. They bring someone like Blair from Cassie DePaiva, this great actress, all these shows, and then there's no follow up.
That's
Martin
true.
mentioned the wives a couple of times, but like there's no real. Remember, she was big and bold. They were building it up, and I was like, yes, and then
I was so excited about the story idea of Martin's three ex-wives, and each was worse than the last, and number three was the whoa. And then this is what we got.
I was hoping we see all three at once. I was hoping we see all three at once. I was hoping that.
Oh, that would have been great. You know, they, I will say at least these writers or however they worked with Frank, that they offered, they would generate interesting ideas, and yet they could just never deliver or follow through on them, which was frustrating.
I agree. I mean, I agree. I mean, we see potential all the time. We always tell people on this show what we think should have happened because we do see potential because they do give us a little something, and we go, "Oh, okay. Well, let's get into this." The Jagger line. That was Jagger. Okay, so I was like, "Oh, that's history. We haven't seen in a long time."
If you had to tell me, recast aside, and we can talk about that too, but just the idea of like one, like a legacy character that you would bring back in, Jagger Cates would not have been
No, not at all.
right within my top 10 at least.
Not in my top 10 either.
No.
There's some of the characters I would think of for, but it makes sense if you knew a storyline, it makes sense. That actually he was an FBI agent before on night shift. I mean, all that stuff. And that was like 100 years ago too. There's a whole thing that it does storyline wise. Okay, that's kind of cute, I guess. So, folks, already, on Daytime Today, my other show, we did a whole story on that, the recast. It doesn't bother me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. It just doesn't, I'm sure why not. A lot of the memes on there have been hilarious out there about casting Sonny as a black man or whatever. I mean, it's hilarious. Some stuff is hilarious. I've been laughing. But I just, they're so Twitter lost. They did lose their marbles over this. I know I saw it. My video's almost 3,000 views in just one day right now. My video alone. I know they've lost Frank. Their comment they've done lost it. It don't bother me, Frank. I thought nice to see history. He kept saying John. And he's like, Annie, you remember me? She's all Jagger. Oh, like, and when she said, I went Jagger. I literally said out loud, Jagger. I'm like you, Frank. I'm like Jagger. I'm like, what? That's a nice touch. We don't get surprised that often, Frank. We don't get surprised that often.
No, it's cool. And it's a small enough of a callback to go like, well, if he sticks around, awesome. But if he's only here for a couple weeks, all right, cool. It's still a nice little nod to history. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I also saw the people reacting as well too. It's like, well, why couldn't it have been Lucky if you're going to do this as well? And admittedly, I don't think we're ever going to get Jonathan Jackson back as Lucky. I don't think that's ever going to come. So if we can't have that, I mean, I still like the character of Lucky. I still want that character on the show. For me, if you had told me that this was the new Lucky, and he had said that was him, I would be down with him being Lucky as well too, just to have that character back. This guy, I can believe this guy is Lucky in terms of just physical appearance wise.
Yeah, I just when I saw the outrage, I know it's gonna be an outrage. I thought I was gonna go online and see like, oh, Jagger, like us going Jagger. I seriously, if I had to name 10 people to come back, I would have thought of him. Like I literally would not have even thought of him. It's funny. And number 2, Antonio Sabato Jr. is not gonna be on General Hospital again. That's the Gary. That's Frank will not bring that man on. And if you watch this video this morning, it's not gonna happen. That's another story. I will get to all that. So that's another story. But my thing is, where was the outrage when I was bringing up a couple of years ago the different colored Jordans? There was no outrage there. Everybody was just like, she's Jordan. So do all black folks just look the same? No, they don't. So somebody's hair, some white dude's hair color, you guys are going crazy. But I'm like, I was like, the first Jordan was brown, the second one was nearly white, the third one's dark. The Carlys, none of them look alike. Oh, those Carlys look different. Sarah Joy Brown looked different than Tamara Brown, looked different than Laura Wright. And they're fine. Laura Wright's like 5 inches taller than the other girls. And they're fine. I'm like, nobody say anything there. So I'm just curious where all this outrage is very interesting. It's very selective. It's very interesting to me, the outrage. But I'm just like, that happens sometimes. Sometimes they find an actor and they're going with the actor.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe they were not getting Antonio Sabato Jr. back. maybe they tested actors with. I trust Mark Teshner. He's a friend of mine. He's like a 20-time Emmy winner or whatever. I'm sure maybe they did test dark-skinned people, dark-haired people, and it didn't work. Maybe they thought this guy was the one.
Yeah, you know, what I've seen of this guy so far is fine. It wasn't anything that was like, there have been some castings on GH where some characters that have gone, some actors that have come in kind of a little clunky at first, that have grown on to become like more polished actors as a result. But I thought this guy, much like Brennan, comes in, and fits right in. You're like, all right, yeah, this guy's getting it.
Because they did do people who look similar. Some of the Nicholases look very similar. And nobody said you guys didn't like it, do you like is that they're acting. So like they did find somebody who was similar. You guys, not you and chat, but a lot of folks didn't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't like it. And also Antonio Zelle-jlttjr is not Latino. He's Italian. So we get that out there. She was like, it's Latino. He's like, it's not Latino. He's Italian. And Jagger Cates has not been said he was that Hispanic. He's never said that. They never said on it. So I'm like, there you go. So I mean, anyway, the point is, I just think it's very interesting that the whole. I get it, kind of shocked at first, but I was more shocked. Like, I was more like Jagger. I mean, I mean, more the character to me. I'm like, because Jagger has a history in the show. I mean, Stone was his brother. He was with Karen. There's a whole history, folks, of him in the show.
Yeah, worked at Kelly's. Those were
Yeah, worked at Kelly. He said that. He said we saw Carly. I saw a little chemistry with him and Carly a little bit.
Hello, him and Jagger. Oh, that would be great.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. So I'm just saying there was. I don't know. The outrage was very interesting. I thought that's really funny. But I wait to see what he does. I'm going to see what if he's a good actor and what he does on the show. Dude, that's to me most important. I'll have open arms to anything if they're good actors. I mean, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And good writing, obviously. But anyway, so I just want to get that out the way. So Jagger's back. So I'm curious to see what that storyline does over there with that. But then let's go back. Okay, we'll get to Carly. We'll do Carly right now. And the whole folks, I'm just seeing so much Carly hate that I'm like, it's very interesting because recently she hasn't really done anything wrong. She's been minding her own business. She's like running Bobby's just over here. She's kind of been on her own. But I do agree that scene with Tracy and the girls was a little absurd. That she had everything already here, just ready for you. I knew you'd do this, Tracy. You weren't playing it that way when the scenes first start. Like it's like don't insult our intelligence. That was a little weird, Frank.
It was. I mean, it does like on the arc of it makes sense in terms of the Tracy of it all. I mean, I like that, she's known these Quartermaines for so long. She's interacted with them. She sees how they work. So her having an edge with Tracy, or at least knowing how Tracy would operate, kind of makes sense for that. But I mean, still, I still think there's been at least acknowledgement, but I think there also needs to be shown that outside of just knowing how Tracy behaves, still Carly is not like she shouldn't drop right into Crimson and be like, oh, this is so easy. I mean, there was a nice nod to her history with deception and why she cared about it, to be able to have that talk with Sasha, Maxie, and Brooklyn. But yeah, I nice to get a little win with Tracy, but overall, I need to see her, and clearly so. Like, I think if I was dropped into running a fashion magazine, there's no way I'd be like out of the gate doing great on this. I'd be like, what the hell am I getting myself into?
Yes. I know Blink FM. You keep going on about Jeannie Francis' hair. Like, what is your obsession with her hair? Cheese and crackers. Okay. Anyway, and I was just going on about her hair is horrible. I can see what's going on. I'm like, okay, no one's joining in on with you, so I'm like, I don't know why you keep talking about it. Okay. I like the nod. So I almost forgot about this. That Carly, played by other people, was part of Deception. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was her. It was Carly and Laura. They were all part of the Exception fragrance. I forgot about the '90s. I forgot about that. So I think that was a nice nod. And she said, "You guys wouldn't know, but Maxie would know." And that's true. Maxie was on the show at the time. She was younger, but she would know. And she's like, "Yeah, that's right." I thought that's pretty good. That part to me, I was like, "But see, there we go, Frank. You get a piece of something that's good writing that brings up history and continuity to make something make sense. But then you do the absurd thing. Then you have this absurd thing. I mean, it's and they mentioned Enchantment and Fusion, which are both on All My Children.
Yeah.
They mentioned those. So I'm just like, that's yeah, Gio's part of it. But I'm just saying that because Cardi's on the show, they explained to us as the fans why she might even have some kind of, she has a history with deception herself. I like that.
Yeah, nice. I don't know. I feel like I can't get worked up enough about the story because how often did we really see Nina at the helm of Crimson as storyline beats? Not really. And how much did we see of Nina kind of struggling at the Metro Court? Not really much of anything. Like it's kind of just, now it's just kind of like a background thing that she just works at the Metro Court. So unless this is gonna be like a true storyline or we're gonna really dive into the nitty-gritty, we're gonna be spending time at Crimson to really see how Carly's doing. But nothing in the show has made me believe that we are not invested in spending any time at people's workplaces. We're not going to see Michael and Drew really hashing out at Aurora, other than the chat that they had in, in Carly's office. We're never going to see the nuts and bolts of that. We're never going to see the nuts and bolts of ELQ, the stuff that we've been wanting to see. We're just not going to see that stuff anymore. So I can understand where it's definitely strange to have Carly running CEO, but also it's like we're never really going to see it, guys. We're not. So
True.
I can't really get like worked up about it.
True. And also, so there's two things. One, the person that's ruining this whole storyline for me is Drew. Love Cameron Matheson as a person. I actually liked him I like him as an actor. He's a good actor. He's a good actor. The way they're writing him is just horrible. See, that's where we go back to that. Okay, you're mad at Nina. Hold on, you got it. However, comma, now you're going over. I love that Michael's now.
Yeah. Like
No,
if Michael is tapped out, then
yeah, yes,
you're going too far.
yeah. Because Michael even being bad an eye, he's just like he's always looking at you like crazy. You're like, look, you're crazy. Like you're going, and he's like, sure, I want her to lose shit, but I'm not going to join in and do all that. He's like, I'm not going to do that. Like, hello, like, I mean, Drew has to take a stripper of everything. Just, I mean, all it was like, he's just. I'm like, okay, this Drew I don't care for. I'm not liking this Drew at all. And I just like it's a little much for me. It's a little over the top for me.
Yeah, if we do not have, I'm going to feel like it's going to be weird if we do not have a scene of Michael talking to either Carly or Sam about
Yeah,
his conversation with Drew, just to say like,
yeah.
we got to get something. We need to have Drew talk to somebody or whatever the deal is because he is crazy now.
And yes, Jason, everybody, I know. But it's like, why is this happening? And Frank and I talked about this the other night. We talked about this. There are ways to have Drew and Jason exist at the same time on the show. There are ways to do it. They seem to lose their way when the opportunity strikes. There are ways to do it. And I think they're also doing this because Jason's coming back. I mean, that's the elephant in the room. He's coming back. He's coming back to the show. Everybody knows that at this point. We have like another month or so before anything that happens. The new writing begins. But it's like you don't have to ruin Drew to have room for Jason. Like this,
Yeah.
they're twins. There's something you could do some intriguing stuff again with good writing and pacing. Do some intriguing stuff.
Agreed. It almost feels like whether they feel they're forced to do it because essentially they've dropped Drew into all these parts of Jason's life. Where it's like, oh, He's close with Michael. He's in a relationship with Carly, where it's like if Jason does come back and he is strictly just Jason Morgan again, that yeah, then it becomes weird. Like essentially it's just once again Drew is just filling the spot of Jason. And then when Jason goes back, then Drew just gets punted. But
But see,
I don't want that what happened to Drew, what happened to Julian, what's happened to Nell, what happened to Esme, where you do something and you have that character go so far that they're broken. And that there's really nowhere else to go with them, and you have to just get rid of them.
see, I know you people are watching in the chat room. I don't know what show you're watching, but I guess I watched a different show because I don't see what you're seeing. To me, the wash, rinse, repeat is they're going to Drew over for a fair reason. That's what I. To me, they didn't do a good job the last time around. There was a whole they did. Oh my god! You guys are giving me my soapbox today.
You
My
get
soapbox.
up.
Frank. The storm's coming, Frank. It's coming from me. Coming from me. Okay, kids. Again, here's the deal, kids. If we go back in time, remember Scary Jake? He came back from the Cassadines. They had a storyline for a minute there, dropped it. When there was John Doe, and he knew who he was, I loved him when he was John Doe. And then Elizabeth kind of tricked him, loved all that. I'm telling you, as soon as Jason came back, all those storylines kind of dropped. They tried to make a life for Drew by giving him Oscar as a son. No, that's in Oscar as a son. I remember though that time period. We were at AfterBuzz TV. I remember going online, and nobody liked Oscar.
Yeah.
Nobody liked Oscar. They hated that storyline, and the Kim and all that stuff. They hated that storyline. So let's not revisionist history on that either. I always felt, and for a while, Billy Miller was reading his lines like he had to chew glass. He was like, ugh, like why am I here? To me, it was not. They did not do a good job because remember also, Frank, everybody out there, the whole twins thing. They never fully explored that either. And then when Franco was on the show, they started to build the Franco Drew. Jason not really liking Franco made sense, but they were trying to draw this kind of three. They grew up together. They didn't fully do that. I felt they did Drew a disservice the last time. So I feel like this time around they could do better. I guess I saw a different show than you guys think. I thought they didn't do a good job with Drew last time. And Billy Miller is a 3-time Emmy-winning actor. I mean, that's just like hello. Another one.
And, same thing with Kim as well too. I mean, they broke her too when she tried to
Yes.
you know assault Drew, drug him and just get him to impregnate her again. Like, and then they just had her like have her leave. That was it. They couldn't do anything else with her.
They didn't. Again, Tamara Braun. Everyone she was on there as Carly before. Another great actress. They did her wrong too. They did her no favors. We didn't do any favors. And then he killed Oscar.
Yeah.
So that was gone. The only thing, there were a few things we liked, of course, is when they did tie Drew to the Quartermaines. That's one thing they've always done. They've tied him to the Quartermaines. But, however,
love the scenes of Monica and Drew. Love those.
Yes, Monica and Drew were great. However, you bring on Austin, who was a Quartermaine, didn't draw them together at all. Barely. I started out that way, fizzled.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it's I think that because Jason's coming back, folks, he's number 3 on the call sheet after Carly and Sonny. So he's gonna get a major storyline, folks. Just get ready. Everybody get whether you like him or not. He's coming back full force, Frank.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come back. He's coming back. He's coming back as Jason, kids. He's coming back as Jason. It's going to shuffle everything up. It is. Him coming back it's going to affect the canvas across the board, kids.
Yeah, and it'll be fun. It'll be at least it'll be interesting for the first
Right.
month.
Right.
After because it'll be new, it'll be different.
Yes.
But after that, then what? Then where do you go? And that's going to be really where I want to see what the writing team does. Having Jason there makes it easy to generate stories initially, but once you kind of reshuffle, then where do you go?
But I do have a request. I got to pull out my gold microphone.
Oh, I like this. The gold microphone comes out for requests. Very nice.
There you go. Thank you. I have requested new writers. This is one that I think Frank will agree with. Can we make Finn John McBain, please? Thank you.
Oh oh, please, please,
I was watching old scene with John McBain. I'm like, I want John McBain back. Fuck Finn. I don't want him on the show anymore. Him is are boring as F. I want John McBain, Detective John McBain.
Yes. I mean, please, if we can dive into that storyline, what a storyline of mediocrity that this whole trial malpractice storyline was from the get-go. We had talked about it already, that the fact that we had no relation idea anything about the family that was suing, it already sunk the storyline from the get-go, and it showed through this whole thing. And so we get to the end of it at the end of this trial, and it just dribbles down to the end. Oh, oh, we couldn't even
I
get a really
I
amazing court scene.
so I says Finn boring John McBain. Yes, exactly. I think I tell you, Jay. I the Finn Liz storyline. It just I mean they're going full steam ahead apparently with these two, and this trial that meant nothing to viewers. There was, and I think everybody. I think it's one time we all can agree. There's nothing, and yeah, Tracy saved the day. I like that's kind of fun, but there was no reason for it. It was a waste of time. It was a complete waste of storyline. No one cared. It's fine. Dante can have a job. Dante was still have a job.
Yeah, and it's a way, I don't know, it's a way to have Diane in the court scenes, but still,
Yes.
there's no win or loss. It was, Diane just kind of leaves, so it had no really kind of weight on the Diane Miller legacy.
Right.
We never really get to see Martin have like any kind of great win
Nope.
or anything.
Nope.
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 Uh,
It was dead on arrival. I just didn't. There was no rooting. It was, and everybody in the chat literally is agreeing with us. It was a waste of time. It was just a storyline it was an isolated story that just didn't work.
and to have the way at the end where it's uh Finn is like, I can't because she's a mother of children and they've lost their father. Who am I to take away the mother? So let's not use this thing that can help me, get out of this. Like I don't know. It just seems this weird way they write certain characters to be overly empathetic. Whether it was Drew with Carly and the whole SEC thing, where nope, I'm gonna have to take the fall and go for Carly, even though I'll be losing my daughter Scout. Like again, that was Drew's choice to do all this, which led him to get to the beatdown and stuff like that. I mean, but he could not be stopped once he decided he wanted to do that. And they do the same thing with Finn, where it's like, yes, there is a way for you to get out. No, if I have to go to prison or lose my license, as long as this other person's fine. Like, why? Why are we writing characters like that? Yes, you can be empathetic, but there's also the reality. Yep, you also have a daughter. You have a daughter, and they're going to need you. So you also have to take care of them as well too. Never really enters into it at all. It's just so weird to me.
So, Frame, I ask you a question.
Please.
Based on all that, I have like all these screens open at the same time. Based on all of that, Frank, would you rather have that or a supporting actor come on for a few days and have the acting be atrocious for a storyline that we kind of half care about? Let me go even deeper, Frank, for you. Would you rather have what you just mentioned or the Adam and his father storyline? I'm sorry, I usually don't talk shit about actors, but that actor, I don't know if they told him to act over the top or under the top or sideways. But I mean, I was like, this ain't it. This story ain't it. Like there was something. That's all I'll say, Frank. Yeah,
There was a lot of time uh, spent on this character.
yes,
When there are other storylines and other characters that are more interwoven and more integral to the GH
yes.
campus that could have used a little bit more TLC on, to have it kind of just again kind of just dribble to the end of it. Like this is it. That was it for Adam. he's sure he could come back at some point, but as of right
Right.
now, he's gone. And
Right.
we haven't end with just that you keep on teasing the parents, the parents, the parents, the parents, the parents, the parents. We get it, Adam, the parents. And then to bring them on, and he's written in such a stereotypical, over the top archway that just like this is how can a person this is just not this is nuts. And that's how it ends. It's just okay.
That's it.
That
And
was it.
it's like, give us some like, okay, let me make sure. Okay, okay, I'm sorry to say this. So I got a text from somebody at the same time, like, leave me alone, I'm busy. Okay. I don't mind a supporting story because it's General Hospital. There's a lot of stories. I have no problem with a character coming in for a few episodes to flesh out part of a story and be like reoccurring or just like not a regular member. I don't mind that. I mean, but I feel like some shows do it very well. It's almost like a guest role on a sitcom or a nighttime show where you're not on there all day. Like, we're bringing so and so's mother in. You may be on the show once a season or twice a season, but like that's fine. You can write a good story. You can actually make an impactful story. For example, just on the top of my head, I'll think about Will and Grace, for example. Debbie Reynolds played Grace's mother. She was only on, and same thing. Blythe Danner played Will's mother, and they're only on maybe a couple times a season. That's it. But when they came on, there was story, and it moved, and sometimes it was semi-serious and funny. And I feel like she could do that too sometimes. Have someone come on and fulfill a piece of a story. There was a couple a while back. There was Michael Lerner came in and played a character for a while. She was sick and she was in the hospital. She was dying, and she was there to teach Elizabeth about nursing and stuff. Kind of, she was just there. She was not there for any really big purpose, but just to kind of support Elizabeth becoming a nurse and being kind of like a good nurse. I thought that's fine, and she had stunt casting on some logo. She's from the Waltons, stunt casting, but it was fine. Or Christine Applegate on Friends, or anybody on Friends. They didn't come on. Witherspoon, Brad Pitt. They have stunt casting, and they would come on, and that's fine. You don't have to be but this person, whoever they picked, I'm just like, wow. And maybe it was the writing too. It was very one note.
Yeah.
Where it was like, no, we get it. He's a bad father. No, folks. I think everybody in the back room, like everybody in the world gets he's a horrible father who doesn't care about him. We kind of get that. But you're right. It could have been some nuance. It could have been something. It was like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm not coming home with you. I'm going back to the thing, and that's it. See ya. And he was told off by a teenager or whatever. I'm like, that's not realistic at all. It was not realistic at all.
Yeah. It's I am all, as we talk about pace, we're like, hey, give us shorter story arcs. You know, if you look at it in total, this Adam one was definitely a shorter story than we would get on other stuff, but it still needs to be told better. I mean, and the idea of telling a relevant story about the pressures that teenagers may face and how they may react and moving themselves to the point of attempting suicide. Certainly something that should be talked about and addressed, but it can be told so much better than this was. And if you're going to use the parents as like the kind of the driving force for a lot of Adam's behavior and actions, uh, then I think you owe it, if you want to tell a better story, to have had the parents involved sooner, so they actually can be given some sort of more realistic portrayal, so that you could see a little bit of that dynamic, and whether it still results in Adam attempting suicide and maybe a different resolution, or at least a more realistic and human resolution between parent and child, where it's just like, the parents realize, holy cow, we have been monsters. Look at what we've done. Like, there was no acknowledgement from the father that he
No,
did
not at all.
none.
No, no, none. He was a
Uh,
villain.
yeah,
He was a cartoon villain, basically. Bad dad.
yeah. And it's like, all right, that's how we're ending the story, and we'll never never see Adam again. And even if we saw Adam in a year, they decided to bring him back for something, we're never going to see the father again. I don't
No,
think so. Uh, you know, I don't know. It just give us. I'm down for those kind of little quick hits, but boy, you gotta do something better with them.
actually, I agree with you. So we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. It's just I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that stuff. So anyway, so well, he's gone. That's it. So there's nothing else to worry about that. Okay. What was another story? Oh, speaking of reoccurring, Lois is still on, and so I'm assuming she's staying till Chase and Brooklyn get married. I feel like that's going to be her end date. It's after that. But I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So I heard she was set for like 30 episodes, but now it's like I'm like that makes sense. They're going to probably keep her to the wedding. I think.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I also wonder too because it was like said by both Brooklyn and Lois. It's like, no, 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 I'm going to help Brooklyn. I will help you get deception away from Tracy. That's why I'm here to also stay in too. And then the whole proposal and all that stuff kind of spun out of it. But initially, it was like, I'm sticking around to help you take care of Tracy.
And
So
listen, have we seen that storyline?
nope, there's not been. We have not had one other conversation between Brooklyn and Lois scheming or figuring out strategies. Nothing. Nothing has happened with that. So again, if the show decides to say goodbye to Lois after the wedding, I wouldn't be surprised given how the show has behaved in the past and stuff like that. But also disappointed because I was excited to actually see Lois involved in something, and she just doesn't turn out to be.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. You guys are mentioning in chat. I gotta make sense. Shout out to the temporary Joss. She was pretty good, actually. I did. A lot of people liked her. They didn't like her, but it was good to see my girl E. McCoy back. On
Yeah.
the last episode, and she came back in on a very serious storyline. And as many of you may know, she lost her mom late last year, so she took time off clearly to handle that. Miss Natasha, her mom. But it was good to see Eden come back and go right into a storyline, and she did. She did a great job. So I think it was. I thought it was. But the temporary Josh was pretty good. I liked her. She wasn't bad at all.
And I mean, certainly, I'm sure it was easy for her to tap in to the emotions of that scene
Oh,
with Trina about that. But then
yep,
also the great note of calling Cam, and I guess he's going to come back for the
yes,
funeral, which is great.
yes.
They're like, yes, that's a great that is like a great example. It's like, yes, these characters were close. It absolutely makes sense that they would call him and
Oh,
he would come back.
totally. So yeah. So Cameron's coming back. William Lipton. Well, we don't know for how long. I figure it's just for the funeral for Spencer and that. But he's part of the four Musketeers was them. He has to come back, and they were cousins, sort of, kind of cousins. They were close. They were friends. So it makes sense, and I'm glad that he's coming back too. I think that's a good one. But see, they can do it sometimes. Sometimes they can pull it together, and you go, makes sense.
Yeah.
And but then, oh, Frank Moran. Oh, Frank Moran. Sonny is the worst mobster on Earth. He can never keep anybody protected. So now he's on his own island to protect Ava and Avery, and a shootout happens. Now, there are several things, Frank, that disturbed me about all of this. One, the storyline. Two, are they trying to get Ava and Sonny closer? Like, what's going on over there? Two. Three, Ava, oh, thank you, Ambassador Sam, thank you so much. Um, you were a mobster at one point too. Again, they keep defending and declawing Ava, which is bugging the shit out of me. And four, and four. What are your thoughts about this storyline?
As people have, as we've seen, it's somebody that really knows the inside of how our security operates. And people already saying, oh, this is clearly must be Jason. This is how we're getting Jason back on, which saddens me because then it means that he's coming back as Jason Morgan, but maybe being programmed by nefarious forces, which the idea of us getting Jason Quartermaine then seems more remote, which saddens me. Or even a Quartermaine Morgan hybrid also seems remote, which disappoints me. Yeah, I yeah, the storyline. I needed to move as well, and maybe having Jason back is going to get the thing that'll
Right. That could be it. That could be it.
yeah.
That could be it.
What I did when it comes to Sonny enjoy is like, yeah, when the show decides to kind of actually talk about like the fact that he is a mobster and that he does operate in a world of violence, that finally to have that brief conversation between Laura and Sonny about the beatdown that he gave Cyrus. And just, Laura, yeah, he's, much like the audience, the mobster with the quote unquote heart of gold, where it's we're supposed to like Sonny, even though he lives in this world of violence, and you have these other characters around him that, whether it be Robin or Laura, that are essentially good characters, but also love Sonny, so that like we're supposed to love Sonny because they can see the good in him, so we should as well. Uh, those moments where it's like, no, 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 he's also a guy that lives in a world of violence, and these things happen, and you've got to be prepared for that. And it shouldn't be something that should be just, just like, oh, you did what you had to do, Sonny. It's fine. But to have Laura be like, no, no, I'm glad they didn't go to the extreme of like, and now I'm gonna take you down, because then that never goes anywhere either.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, like you can't pull like you can't pull a Scotty, you can't pull any sort of DA, whether it's Robert Scorpio or anybody else saying, and it's my goal to take Sonny down, because the show's not interested in going in that way. Sonny's never going to be taken down. So it just makes whoever says it look like a chump, because the show has to then write them like an idiot because they always have to lose to Sonny.
I
But
agree.
you can still have, as friends, uh have that conversation. And I feel like there should be more. This should not be the last of it between Laura and Sonny. But to Laura say like, that was, yeah, what you did was unconscionable. Yeah, you almost killed me with your bare hands.
Yep. And she called him out on it. That's why I loved it. Because the good line, of course, from we'll go back to Cyrus for a second, was um that he's not a saint. He said that line. I forgot the name of it. Somebody in the chat knew that line. He was like, I may be spiritual, I'm not a saint, or so I may have, I'm not a saint. I love that line. And the fact that Laura's done some bad, and I love what Laura said to Sonny, oh, I know my brother. Don't tell me. He said, you don't know him. I said, oh, no. So I know my brother. Her voice, everything changed, her demeanor changed. Like, no, ever. I know who my brother is. Don't try to tell me I know my brother. Like I'm some naive bitch. She's like, no, I know my brother. Or what you did, but she brought it back to him. To me,
Yeah.
that's good writing. That's how you just live. That's the good writing. It's like that's good writing. And I'm sorry, folks, to tell you this. When Jason comes back, I say every episode, he's going to Carly, and Sonny and Nina are going to stay together. Now, I don't know what Drew, but I just have a feeling it's gonna move. It's gonna affect so much stuff. It's kind of exciting. But it's kind of like I don't know what's gonna happen. It's like, but they're not. But Jason's coming back as badass Jason, and he's gonna be there and some people are saying that he's the one working with them or something that he's the one shooting around. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, they're saying that he can't get programmed. People in the chat say he's brain damaged. He can't be. That's why they programmed Drew. They can't program Jason. He's already brain damaged. I don't know. It's soap opera. I don't know, but they can do anything they want. They can say anything. I
Yeah.
think on this show they can say anything. Marlena was possessed by the devil twice on Days of Our Lives. Was she possessed by the devil? Ain't possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And who knows? It could be, maybe this programming, if they were able to program it, it breaks him in such a way that we do get the Jason Quartermaine of it back reconciled with the Jason Morgan. Maybe that is something they're going to try. I don't know.
Nah.
But, it seems,
Please don't say that. If you don't like it,
yeah,
they're
it,
starting yelling at me. Go ahead.
but it seems like, I mean, how do you not tease this in any other sort of way and then have it not be like Jason related?
Well, as I
So
said, Tony JT says, I said it, he's the shooter. Chris is like, I don't care. I know you guys. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm sorry to break it down for you guys. You can yell at me if you want to. I'm just telling you. I know you don't want to hear it. I'm like a parent. We gotta tell kids sometimes things they don't want to hear. You guys don't want to hear it, but I'm telling you. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'm always like, that's fine. I'm not mentioning this shit. However, comma, I don't think I'm wrong. So I these guys gonna have Frank. I'm sorry, it's gonna happen. I mean, kids. It's they don't care about Jason Quartermaine anymore. They don't care about any of it. They don't care about the Quartermaines. They don't care about any of those people. But I would love what you're suggesting. I would love it.
yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And yes, and hopefully Leslie Charleston will be up for it for
Oh,
Jason's return.
that would be great.
They have to have a scene together. They have to have a scene together.
Yeah.
They have to. So
Just put her
I
behind her desk at the hospital.
whatever it is, he walk over to her.
Uh,
Um,
as we were talking briefly about our boy Cyrus, uh, I I will say that I need the writers to please switch it up a little with Cyrus, where he cannot. We can't have him constantly talking religious platitudes.
but Frank, I thought of you the whole time. I told them this in the chat. I thought of those in Zoom the other day. I was like, he always shows up unannounced and unwanted. He never reads the room.
Yeah.
I said, Frank, I thought of you the whole time. He never reads the room. Overstays his welcome every time.
Oh,
It made me laugh so hard. I'm sorry. I said, tell you, I thought of you, Frank, about that. He never reads the room.
he
Never reads the
doesn't.
room.
And then why? It's I need Laura to yell at him again, like she did about in the hospital
Yes,
about the religious stuff. It's like, and please, writers, come on, this is just not. It's just not how a human being would relate. Like, yes, you can be a religious person, but you do not constantly speak in religious
I know.
platitudes. You know, if you're
I
trying to
know.
make us think that Cyrus is, guess what, guys, we got it. Message
Yeah.
received. Please just have
Oh,
him behave like a regular human being now.
yes. But I laugh. I know, Frank, I did thought of you. I mean, I think of you all the time. I thought, but no, I was like, he always overstays his welcome. He doesn't care. And he made it all about himself. He makes it all about himself, but claims it's about everybody else. Well, I'm here for my sister, and we're family. And he was my. I was like, they're like, get out. They're all like, get out, get out, get out. Oh, because I'm not saying you, Chris, are yelling at me per se. I'm saying people are yelling at me, not you per se. Sorry if it sounded like I was saying you. It's raining very heavy at Burbank WB Studio Lott. Happy to see James and Frank. So Mark says
Oh,
it's raining heavily there. Okay,
it
it's
is.
starting to rain here a little bit.
I
Is it
look out my
raining?
window and the rain is coming. The rain is here.
He's at Frank's in Burbank. Mark, I'll give you his address. I'm just kidding.
Come on over. We'll huddle together
And
as
then
the
the
rain
rain,
falls.
the rain. But yeah, no, it's yeah, no. I'm in Inglewood, so I think it's starting to rain here a little bit, but it's not heavy down here yet. I'm south of you guys.
The arc
Um,
storms are here.
such storms here. Anyway, so I'm not saying you. I was just saying in general, people are yelling at me about this stuff. But anyway, the whole point is, I was laughing. That's all I was talking about. I was laughing at. I was thinking, okay, I thought of you, Frank. Going, he just never reads the room. They're all like, get out. They're all like, get out, get out, get out, get out. He's just like, but, like, oh my god, like, just go away. And Laura yelled at him, like, stop it. He's like, just get out. It's like, and then but he's still like, what, huh, what? And then like, let's escort you out. Come on. Kevin's like, come on, let's go. Oh my god! And when Sonny tries to talk to him, he takes on the ground. He goes, "Don't touch me."
Yeah.
And it's like I can stop. Oh, I can stop laughing. Oh, Jeff Corbett he's really good. I think he's really good playing this character.
He is great, but you again, I see shades of Esme with amnesia, and the way that the show just kind of just kind of toes in the water. Like, is she? Is she not? We're not really going to address it. Like, same thing with Cyrus. Is he running a con? Is he not? Is he truly kind of changed his ways? We don't know. And in the meantime, this character just stays kind of just one note and uninteresting because it's the show does and until we we get to the same thing like with Esme. It's like, oh wait, now everything's going to happen in 4 days. we're gonna go from 0 to 100 in 4 days, and then Cyrus is gonna be done and gone. And it's like, guys, please don't let this happen again. Oh,
What's okay? So in the chat, they're all agreeing with you, but see, Jason brings up it's an act, isn't it? Because we got out of prison, so maybe that's why he's so over the top about it. Because actually, it's an act. They're saying in the chat. Maybe that's it.
And it's tough because we've got rid of Mason. He's in prison now, and we've killed Austin. So there's nobody else for Cyrus to talk about with the nefarious stuff, possibly. So we aren't really going to be able to, like, who's Cyrus going to be talking to? That we could see maybe that side, and then get like, oh, holy cow, this is what Cyrus is really up to. You've taken away his little Pawtuck clan.
Frank, it's a question for you from the chat.
Uh-oh.
It literally made me laugh out loud. So from Coach Chandra, oh, you're hilarious.
All right.
Would Frank rather deal with Cyrus? I hate you say this, or Gladys? I just started laughing. I saw that. I just started like, oh my god, you guys using violence, using violence towards Frank.
Man, words that I never thought I would say.
Oh man, sorry. Go ahead, Frank. Yes, go ahead, Frank.
If I have to choose between the two, I will take Gladys.
What?
Because
wait,
I know.
I know. Wait, I got to turn my shit off right now. I got to take a second. What? Frank, what? What?
Because at least with Gladys, we saw some glimmers of humanity. There were moments.
Oh, yeah.
Towards the end, before it went into the full on, I'm committing Sasha to all this. But there were moments before that where there were slight moments of humanity with Gladys that you're like, okay, that made a few of those scenes palatable to me. Have Gladys in. That quickly got erased as we led into the Sasha getting committed. So
okay,
she could keep running.
you just broke the chat. You just broke the chat. That's what you know. You broke the chat. We did not expect that. Frank, I've been with you 9 years basically this year, and very few times you surprised me. I thought for sure you would say Cyrus. I'm completely, Frank, you've broken me. I'm totally broken. I don't even know. Yeah, chat. We're all like going, what? Frank said, well, like, I know. Frank said, okay.
It does me no. I'm not gaining any sort of pleasure from saying this. But it's just, it's like, guys, guess what? I've been fooling you the whole time. I really, Gladys, I stand Gladys. No, not at all. That character drove me bonkers.
I'm gonna have to clip this and send it to Burroughs because I can't. She's not gonna believe it either, and she loves Frank. She's not gonna believe it. I was like, it is just so funny. Everything you said is fine. Everything you're saying is true. I mean, you're saying it's true. I was like, I thought you were so against. I know they must have my face. I know I literally was shocked when he said that. I'm sorry, I was shocked. I mean, like genuinely shocked. I was like, because he talks so much shit about Gladys so much on the show. But I just didn't expect that, Frank Moran.
That's true. Wow. Yes, true. And you know what? If we're gonna see Cyrus more interwoven on the show, I may reserve the right to, like, 6 months from now, like, come back to you, say, James, I was wrong.
Okay. You still got we all got it recorded. It's all recorded, timestamp. You broke the chat. You broke James-Lott-Jr. We're just like, I don't say, but no, because we like Jeff Cole, we like Cyrus. We always how much we like him. We like him. So I mean, I'm just so wow. But okay, and everything you're saying makes sense. Just I'm a little shy to collect myself. 78 people are watching us.
Woo!
Wow.
Uh-oh. Guys, forget what you heard me say. Just
you will now forget. And thank you for watching us. I know we're the OGs. We've been around for a long time. But we're not long in the tooths. We're still here. There may be other people out there doing self recaps, but we're still here. So don't forget about us. You guys don't. Thank you. We appreciate you. Actually, we support the other ones too. They're fine. But don't forget, we were the OGs. We were first. Anyway, Okay, who's next on the list? Oh, so we had Lois finally talking. They popped her out finally, talking to Olivia.
Olivia.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it is a relationship that we never really saw before until Lois came back on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do like that the Bensonhurst ties run deep. And I do like that they have a solid relationship. And the whole thing of like, yes, it could be awkward that, you were with my ex-husband. Uh, sure. It's like something that I hadn't really thought about until she had come back. And people were like, isn't that weird that you're also with Ned? Have you ever talked about that? Since they really kind of just they didn't really talk about them, being so close until she came on the show.
Right.
I enjoy that relationship. It just uh you know no, I'm down for that scene, but also like the way they wrote Olivia in this whole storyline just was so bonkers to me as well too. And I'm glad that Carly called her out too. It's like, oh wait, like you were
I was going to ask you that. Now, I was going to ask you that next because they Carly brought that up. This is like, and it was the whole time I was coming after your man, and you like, and I'm your best friend. I'm glad they had that. I'm glad they talked also. I'm glad they finally talked also.
because as you often say, James, there are no saints on this show. Everybody has
Oh,
done stuff.
oh yeah.
So it gets, there are times where it's just hard for anybody that's going to get outraged about a lie or a lie of omission or a deception or just not sharing information with somebody else. There's always going to, whoever the other person is, there's always going to be a reason why, because that person has done it as well at some point on the show. And so you sometimes wish that it's tough. It it makes it realistically tough to have a lot of outrage when you're also like, crap, I've done that too. I should know better. Who am I? I'm a hypocrite as well. We never have those self-realizing moments as well. But
That's true. That's true. Right. That's true.
yeah.
Uh, Chris was all. It was believable. Yeah, boring. I didn't find it boring, but I get what you say. But it was a kind of there was a conversation they had to have. They're just gone all of a sudden. It was like, where are they? Everything just went happen. They didn't see them anymore. So they had a conversation. But I'm glad they also again they literally have gone faster a little bit. I'm glad they went. I'm glad that Carly and her also had a conversation. I'm glad they all got that done. It's like everybody just get it. They were the kind of Livia was like the loose end. It was kind of she was like the loose end. So I'm glad they got that all done.
Yeah, it's I think I was more down with that scene. I don't know. There's something about like seeing two women be able to have a really deep, solid
Yeah.
friendship and having issues, but it doesn't break a friendship. They can be mad at each other, but they hash it out and they work it out amongst
Yeah.
themselves. So I'm like, great, that's cool. Give it to me. And it might be different if it was a character that wasn't Lois. Although Lois hasn't been on the show for a long time, she was on the show. She does have history with the show. So having writing her as she's come back as incredibly tight with Olivia, I buy all of that. So for them to have this kind of a rift in the relationship about the whole thing with Sonny and Carly and Drew and Nina, but then talking through it works for me. What I feel like I'm tired of in the year of 2024, and I assume yes, it is, I'm sure, still an issue. It is, but the scene of Lois talking to Brooklyn and Chase about the wedding, and the awkward scene of uh, a mom who is kind of running the show on the wedding, and a child afraid to speak up. That it's like, but it's not what I want. Like, have we not? And I'm not dialed into the wedding scene and to mothers and daughters, but or mothers and sons. But gosh, I feel like haven't we gotten to the point where like we those scenes don't happen as much anymore? I don't know.
Because I just don't care about them anymore. I'll begin there. Um, I'm not excited nor disgusted. I'm like nonplussed, as they say, about Chaylin now. They're together. Again, pacing killed them for me. Pacing, storyline, all that stuff killed them for me. They're fine. I'm more interested. All that Bensonhurst is upper crust, East Side. I don't care all that stuff. What I'm enjoying is Tracy. Jane Elliott is just every scene she's in, she's interesting. And I love that she does love her granddaughter. Like they're really showing that this time around. And she likes Chase. But it's her and Gregory, which again, Frank, I thought of you also. I think of Frank often in the shower at home.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, but I thought of you that because I was thinking again, wow, they have chemistry that's off the charts. There's so much, and I said it in the chat too, there's so much potential if he was not dying.
Yeah.
But it's softening Tracy a bit because that's the only saving grace too about the other storyline. She loves Finn. They have a relationship. So there's something there too. But it's like, but they're killing him off. So it's just like, I'm liking their exchanges. It's what I think is more important to me than actual. I don't care about the wedding. Fine, whatever. Some hijinks, be funny. Whatever. We knew it was going to be in Bensonhurst. They're going to do a Coney Island thing. So obviously, we live in Los Angeles. If they were a New York soap, they could actually rent out Coney Island probably and do it. Here, we're going to get the back lot probably in a couple of setups.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to see. You're not going to see what happened with Ned and Lois in terms of their wedding and the location shoots for that.
Right. Remember all that? No, they're not going to. You want to see all that? Go on YouTube. You'll see all the real deal. When she mentioned the boat and everything, that was all real. But they were in New York. They were on the Brooklyn Bridge. They were doing all. They had location shoots back then, Frank. But not right now, kids. Hey, you hear about this, Frank, this week on Young and the Restless? Eileen Davidson's character was in Paris, and the green screen was so bad. It was like being on a Zoom meeting with a fake background. They're saying in the chat already, no green screen. It was so bad. We're like, okay, kids, we know you couldn't go to Paris for this, but there must be some money in the budget to make it look a little real. So, yeah, that's a big joke on that show right now.
He must have just drew like a little drawing of the Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower, exactly. It was almost that bad. It was not that bad, Frank. My grandson, who's 2, could have did a better background. It was like a little crazy. But yes, back then, everybody's remember, those scenes were realistic back then. They did location shoots. They don't have the budget anymore, kids. They just don't. So it's like, then why even bother doing that if you don't have the budget? It's like, just use the sets you have. So now we're going to get some fake ass piece of Coney Island set now. Maybe if they show it, I guess. I mean, that's if they show it, I guess. You think they'll show it?
You know what? I think what we would get is we'll get a nice, beauty shot from some tourism video of Coney Island, just to establish that we're there, and then we cut in, and then
that's true.
Looking at sets constructed on the back lot.
They're telling you, Frank, you should watch bridal shows.
It's true. You got to see all the bridezillas and the momzillas.
Yes. They want you to watch bridal shows.
Thank
you, Sam.
I should just watch that just so we can talk about it one time in another episode. Like, guess what, guys? I took your thing. I watched the bridal show, and these ladies are easy.
Frank, we've got about this too. I thought about you on this one too. They just thought it. Sorry, Mike Thomas. Thanks for bringing this up. We have to mention it really quick. Did the location of the vessel, the set of the vessel, look familiar to you? That was in Paris. Did it look like the Haunted Star and the state? I mean, I don't know, Frank, but they want to know what you think.
I mean, that is the frustration. Where I mean, it's the same thing where, every corridor leading into one of the doctor's offices, a GH, is the same. It's just every time we're going into a patient's room, we've got like 2 options: one that's across from the elevator, and then the one where it's got like the little viewing window.
That's true.
So
right.
It's just always those 2. So so it makes sense they would reuse the Haunted Star. But boy, you could maybe do a little bit better trying to not make it look so obvious.
That's hilarious. We know, again, I give it budgets. And here's the thing. I will forgive anything for good writing and good acting. I'll forgive anything. I seriously will. I'll forgive anything. You give me something interesting, I'll forgive it because we know that they can't do what they want.
Yeah.
Like they used to was. But we haven't done that yet, Leopardess. I'll be at the end of the show. We haven't done that yet. But I forgot I hadn't mentioned that because we hadn't talked about the similarity of the sets. But that's them using their sets. They're using their sets. They have to use them. So I mean
Yeah.
that's
I mean, the days of say like how Matt comes onto the show, where it's a nice live exterior shot on a pier of Mac in the water and Robert finding him and then throwing him back in. Gone are those like cool things. So you're not going to get like them on a different seagoing vessel
no, we're not.
to really see like Esme and Spencer or their stunt people falling off and into the water. We're never going to get that. We're going to get the 100-star redressed with a lot more mist. And maybe we'll throw up a picture of Paris somewhere to like, oh, this has got clearly a Parisian, vessel.
Yes. It's yes, it's oh yeah. Something else. I just had to bring that up because that was really funny. Who else do you know about? Am I missing any? I know there's some folks I have not mentioned on purpose because they're not exciting, like Michael and Will. There's really no movement on them either. It's just kind of like she's at work. He's
Yeah, there are, whatever's happening with Nina, whether it's like why we're not going with the obvious thing of like Nina teaming up with Valentine and creating a new magazine to go. I mean, at least if you're going to go that route, that could be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do with Nina. Who knows? Uh, but moments about that I like is that at least Valentine and Nina were, as much as they said that they care about each other, they also realize they can, they can make they're bad instinct enablers to each other. So if they allow themselves to go there, they can both end up doing a lot of regrettable actions. So that was all right. But if you write also characters like Olivia or Maxie, where when Carly kind of talks about what Nina did, and Maxie's going like, that was an accurate description of everything that happened. I can't disagree with how you described Nina in that moment. Or Olivia reacting to Nina. It's like, I don't hate you, Nina, but I just wish that you would just also, have some humility and accept all the actions that you had a part of all this. Where it's just like, it doesn't have to be such an extreme of like, I hate this person now and they're dead to me. But there can be that nuance of, I can still like you, but I still can disagree with the actions that you did. Uh, so if you write it like that, where it's a little bit more believable, that it does help to give characters that have done actions that aren't world breaking, like Julian trying to kill Alexis or putting a knife to Alexis's throat. Uh, it does help to kind of like show that there are ways that that character can be kind of moved on with in storylines.
yeah.
But I just don't know how long this whole Sonny and Nina thing. Just like I need, well, in real life, yes, things like this are complicated and sticky, and it's going to take a time to figure it out. I, on a soap, you just don't have that luxury. I think you lose viewers unless you're doing incredible writing. You're losing viewers quickly if you don't have more momentum in these bits, and you can't just leave them sitting in these kind of these situations for so long without any sort of forward momentum. For me, it's a storyline and show killer.
Crystal, I did bring up the Anna Jordan thing. Well, we didn't go into there's no major detail to go into. They're looking for, they're trying to figure out what's going on. Jagger, so we talk about Jagger. I don't know much more to talk about. They got caught as Jagger comes in, and we don't know much more yet. So I'm waiting for that storyline to heat up a little more. Just that we know they're teaming up together to figure out who shot Curtis, but that's all we know. That's nothing major to tell.
And then we just briefly, I know we talked about this too, I think in our night shift, but the whole Robert and Diane thing,
Yeah.
we did have them meet there at the Savoy, have their little meeting, and coming to the point now where it's like we will just not talk about work, which okay seems great, because I'm tired of, as we've talked about, we see them so rarely that it's always like the beat of Robert does something and it irritates Diane, and then the night's off, and then everything's awkward until we see them again, and then they have to rehash why it was awkward, and then they're like, okay, we're in a good place now, and then Robert will do something that irritates Diane. Uh, those are the moments where, as much as I enjoy Diane, and Carolyn Hennessy is amazing,
Right,
uh,
right.
the way that they write Diane, where that she can never be wrong,
Right.
it does get a little irritating to me.
Yes,
Okay, we're in a good.
it does. It does. It does. And we love, and Carolyn's our friend. We love friend of the show. Love Carolyn. I know Tristan. They're all great people. They deserve better, clearly. But there is something I said online. It's funny you bring it up, Frank. There is this thing some people were saying online that reoccurring characters should not have storylines.
That's weird to me, because then it's so you want them just merely operating in a vacuum where they only come in and they are only in service to another character's story and have nothing of themselves to offer.
That's what I said. I thought that's just. I'm thinking, but these two but Carolyn Hennessy's been around for a long time. She's like a Liesel Ulbricht. You guys didn't mind Liesel getting a storyline with Scott and all that kind of stuff, but you don't want Diane to have a storyline with Robert. I saw this online. I was just like, it's to me that's again so backwards to me. I don't understand. You want Selena Wu to come back and be on storyline, but you don't want. I'm just like, yeah. We talked about the Cy Angel. We talked about the Jagger recast. Yes, we talked about it earlier. We've been on 95 minutes. But I was like, I don't. When I saw that outrage, I saw those comments. I was like, what? So I don't. I try to follow some fans sometimes. And I can't follow them because I don't know what you guys are. Which just give me whiplash.
And I feel like that the Lisa Obrecht and Diane Miller thing is a good comparison. Both kind of supporting characters, but I feel like Liesel has definitely gotten more storyline attention than
Yes,
Diane ever has.
right.
You
They
know,
built, Frank. They built a whole family around Liesel.
yeah, they have not done any. We have not seen Diane involved in any sort of ongoing
Nope.
storyline. She is there just to be a friend to Alexis or Carly or Sonny, or be legal counsel to Sonny or Jason or some other character that might need her thing. But in terms of like building a life around it and seeing her as any kind of having her own little bit of a story, never.
Now, some folks in the chat and online, they're saying something weird online. I mean, of course, some folks don't like Diane. That's fine. You're not like a character. But it's like or not, I guess that's no big deal. But some folks are like, they just want Diane there for legal trouble, I guess, and that's it. They don't want. Hey, they don't want. Let's say like, and this person who's writing is bringing up Spinelli. That Spinelli is supposed to be there just for cybercrime, but Spinelli actually is related to Maxie. They have a kid together, so it's a little different, also.
Yeah, but she almost married him. So I mean,
yeah, I'm confused by this kind of like. So I guess these characters are because this person in the chat is not by themselves. Like I said, I saw this online, so I'm trying to figure out. So certain characters can have a story and some don't.
yeah,
I'm confused. I don't know. I have no idea.
No, look at Brad. I mean, he was a supporting character that they ended up giving a storyline to.
Right?
Uh, there are certainly kind of more supporting characters that do get their moments in the sun. How well they're told, that is something that we could talk about for a long time. But there's definitely varying degrees of quality in how a supporting person is done. I feel like Liesel's a good example. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like Lisa's a good example of somebody that they've, a character that was brought in to just be, Cezanne and, right hand man, or Jerry Jax's, or involved in Cassadine stuff. And they took and they kind of ran with and they evolved her. Like if you saw the Liesel that had kidnapped Robin compared to the Liesel right now, that, has lost two children, and is working on trying to, make herself a better person and, breaking up with Scotty Baldwin. You would be surprised about where that character has gone.
I just want to bring that up because it's kind of, this show is a bloated cat. I say it all the time. It's a lot of people on here. But I think all shows have leads, supporting, and reoccurring. There are just folks who come in. They do come in for certain things. But so for me personally, I don't mind them fleshing out some story for them because it's kind of like, if it's done well, like I just said, some characters go from contract to reoccurring, and some go from recurring to contract. I mean, they just you never know. Somebody starts out reoccurring, like this Blaze chick, and now she's with Christina, so to speak, and could be getting bigger and bigger. Who knows? Like, but if she was just brought in to be another person that Link messed with and sang with Chase, then that's all we would have gotten, right? Then we wouldn't have gotten anything else. I'm just wondering. I don't see. I guess I don't. I see things differently.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's like you kind of want them to be like the boyfriends or girlfriends or close friends of like the cast of Beverly Hills 90210, where you bring in this new love interest. They're there for a little while. It's there just to kind of generate story, but you get to know them a little bit, and then they're gone for whatever reason, whether they break up or they're really a bad person or they get killed. There's something, but at least while they're there, you're seeing they're treated as a human being, so you at least get a little bit invested in what happens with them. Because they're, you can kill off a bunch of supporting characters, but unless Maurice Bernard is leaving the show, you're not going to kill off Sonny. Gladys Corbin, another great example of somebody that was just a supporting character, but they gave her a storyline. They got her more involved. And now look at that. I'm loving her more than Cyrus. So and look where we are now.
Right. So I was like, it's just very interesting. I saw that online. I saw somebody in here too, and I'm just like, I don't subscribe to that. I think I want a fleshed out world, but I do agree with everybody in terms of they need better rotation. That's what we need. Because we have a large cast, need better rotation.
Yeah.
That's the thing there. So they brought in Felicia for the patient advocate thing. That made sense. That's what she's doing right now. So they brought her in. So I mean, yeah, we have Stella and all them. They're all kind of reoccurring characters. But they have storyline. They're tied to people on the show. People are bringing up Taggart, of course. I'm like, wait, she almost died. You're thinking hopefully he comes back for that. Otto's Real Andrews just had a birthday, so happy birthday to him in real life. And he's selling cars here in LA. So that's what he's doing right now. He's a coach. He does coaching. So he is on General Hospital right now. I don't know where he is. He's drinking coffee out of a teacup somewhere. I have no idea.
Yeah, being an actor can be very tough.
Right. I have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? I think about before we wrap this shit up.
I don't think so. We'll see what I do like the people are like, oh hey, could Dex be Jagger's son? Guys, no, he's not. He's not Stone 2.
He's not autistic.
Yeah, he's not.
They established that in the first thing with him playing with Leo. They established that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's not going to happen. I think Jagger's on to be just Jagger. He's on for a reason. I have no idea how long he's going to be here.
Maybe he'll be the chief of police. Maybe he'll be.
It could be. I'd take this job.
There you go. Which it's like I mean, he's already he's got history with Sonny, so he'll follow.
Scott Baldwin, Sonny.
Yeah, he'll be another police commissioner with like coming in with I'm gonna bring down Sonny Corinthos. Cut to you're never gonna bring it down. So
I know. Well, Frank and I are done. Our season 8 premiere of GHB Spotlight. Thanks for tuning back in. 81 people watching Cheese and Crackers. Yes, thank you to Ambassador Sam. Thank you to David. Thank you to Coach. Thank you guys for all of your donations for us. Thank you so much to JLJ Media. We appreciate it. We'll be here in 2 weeks. Next weekend is the Super Bowl, and also Sister Andrew's birthday. So I'll be dealing with that on next Sunday. But also, it's Egyptian Day's 9-year anniversary. So they invited the former co-host to come back. So tune in to see which ones of us show up.
Wait. Are you thinking that not everybody's going to show?
No, I don't think anybody is. I'll tell you off camera. I don't think anybody is.
Will you be cosplaying as your favorite G8 Days character?
Tony Moore did not ask for that. Did not ask for that. He just said come back. So I'll tell Frank, I'll tell you off camera. But you guys have to watch to see which one of us shows up. And do I do a look who's related? Do I do one? I don't know. My famous thing there. And because that's when I started my career as a TV host. Was 9 years ago, a week after this will be my 90th anniversary that led me to Frank. I would not be here.
Oh, reunited. My life has changed forever for the better.
You gotta thank Frank. You gotta thank Tony Moore. He brought me over. So that's what that. But that's next weekend. But we'll be back the following weekend. We'll be back the following weekend. Back to normal.
Yes.
And also we have a leap year this year. If you want to join my Zoom, I'm doing a leap day Zoom on February 29th. What am I doing? I have no idea yet. It's just leap day. We're gonna do something leap day.
Are you like on like a trampoline the whole time?
I was bounce up and down the whole time. You're leaping. Frank, what are your email count? You know, everybody wants to know your email count. He's ready for you. 268,166. 268,000. Almost 269,000.
There you go. Yeah, it's something. It's not something to be proud of, folks. Don't be like me. Be better.
Be better. Oh my God. We love you guys. See you in a